In this video, we're going to be solving word problems graphically. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to approximate the solutions to word problems by graphing the functions and approximating the x-coordinate of their intersection points, or point. We are told the functions f of t and g of t model the balances of Rachel and Jason's investment accounts respectively. So f of t is Rachel's and g of t is Jason's. Looking at the graph, after roughly how many years does Rachel's balance overtake Jason's? So we can see by these functions that Rachel's graph, or Rachel's investment account is growing faster. So that's kind of determined by this coefficient in front of t that we have in the exponent here. In Rachel's case, that's 0.1, which is significantly larger than what we have in Jason's case, which is 0.03. And so we can see the same thing represented in the graph, where Rachel starts at a lower point. She starts at $105 in her account, and Jason starts with $300. But hers is growing faster, so she eventually overtakes. And the question is asking us, after roughly how many years does Rachel's balance overtake Jason's? And we can see that this intersection point, which as we learned in previous videos, is also the solution to the equation 105 e to the 0.1 t equals 300 e to the 0.03 t. So this point, or the x value, which in this case we're representing with t, so this is t comma y. So this value t here tells us the solution to this system of equations. And in this case, that is also the point at which Rachel's account surpasses Jason's. And so we can kind of draw a line down here to see what is the value for t, so how many years. And it looks like it's pretty much right on the dot, 15 here. So looking at our answers, we can see that the correct answer is C, 15 years. Here we have a little bit of a different type of problem. So we were only given one function here, and the problem tells us that the function f of x models the amount of wheat plants in thousands on the y-axis a farmer will be able to harvest in a given year based on the average number of rainy days per month in that year. And that's on the x-axis. So use the graph to determine the optimal amount of rainfall for this wheat farmer. So here on the y-axis, we were told that this is the amount of wheat plants that this farmer can harvest in thousands. And we can assume that optimal means the maximum amount of wheat harvest. Because this is a wheat farmer, he probably makes all of his money by selling wheat. The more wheat he can harvest, the more money he makes. So the optimal amount for him would be the highest point along this line here. So what is the x value for the highest point? So I think we can quickly spot that the point here is roughly where this little dot is. And the x value for this point is 4. So that tells us that 4 is the ideal average rainy days per month for this wheat farmer. And so going through our answers, we see that D is the correct answer. In this video, we learned how to approximate the solutions to word problems by graphing the functions and approximating the x-coordinate of their intersection points. In the first example, the intersection point was the intersection of the two graphs that modeled Rachel and Jason's investment accounts. This was where Rachel's account surpassed Jason's. In the second problem, the x-coordinate we were looking for was the x-coordinate that told us the number of rainy days that produced the highest amount of wheat for our wheat farmer.